So the community members took it upon themselves to come here to invade this land, to build shacks and...
Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. You know, it's not even been 2 weeks since South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law an expropriation without compensation bill, and land theft has already commenced.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and we assure you that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa.
Now, I warned of the disastrous domestic and international consequences for Pretoria should Ramaphosa sign that unconstitutional bill, chief among them being a decline in property values for homes, farms, businesses, and land as uncertainty over ownership cripples the market, along with commensurate job losses in the real estate, banking, and home building sectors. Internationally, Ramaphosa has made South Africa ineligible for duty-free access to the United States market since Pretoria has abrogated private property rights, the respect of which is a cornerstone commitment for the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act participants. Now, also warned that land invasions would soon pick up pace as squatters and thieves feel emboldened by the new law, falsely proclaiming it authorizes them to occupy land. Naturally, the law permits no such thing. Now, do not misinterpret what I'm sharing. Illegal occupation of land has long been an issue in South Africa, so much so that municipalities often find it necessary to use police or hire outside firms to remove squatters. For example, in Johannesburg, the Red Ants, a private, majority black-owned security company specializing in land evictions, are notorious for their violent evictions from state-owned land. But Ramaphosa's foolhardy decision will now embolden more frequent land grabs, which have the potential to overwhelm state and or private capacity to stem the invasions. This is unfolding as I speak. In Limpopo province in the north of South Africa, in a place called Seshego, on the outskirts of Polokwane, previously known as Pietersburg, a massive land grab is underway. A private landowner along the Matlala Road near Seshego faces a mounting crisis as land grabbers have illegally occupied the property, establishing informal settlement in just 2 weeks. Sadly, virtually no one is reporting on the matter, save a local media outlet, the Polokwane Review and Observer, and now the state-owned broadcaster, South Africa Broadcasting Corporation, SABC.
Members here have been demarcating stands for themselves, and I can tell you that this land is one of the vacant land in Seshego.
Seshego municipal officials are not sympathetic to the squatters. Municipal spokesman Tipa Salala said that illegal occupations, whether on private or municipal land, will not be tolerated. If such activities extend onto municipal land, the municipality will enforce bylaws, demolish illegal structures, and take legal action. However, the land currently being invaded is privately owned, so it's unclear if the municipality will follow through or bother to act to remove the thieves. Salala warned that those illegally erecting structures face financial losses and severe legal consequences. True, but that still requires legal action and manpower as well as the use of force when necessary to remove them. The Seshego municipality is obliged to not only evict squatters from public land, but also enforce bylaws, which means they need to act to protect private property if the land is used inappropriately or outside of zoning. Almost as if on cue, the invaders fraudulently claim justification for their illegal actions is justified, applying their own dubious and wildly incorrect barracks lawyer legal determination of the Expropriation Without Compensation law Ramaphosa signed back on January 23, 2025. The occupiers argue that the legislation allows for private land to be appropriated for public use under government supervision. So where exactly is that government supervision? Now, based on the Review and Observer and an SABC interview with occupiers, they claim that occupying the land is in the public interest. Now, their hope is that once they are settled, authorities will formalize their presence and issue permits. Basically, they expect their criminality to be a fait accompli, forcing the authorities' hands. But we have the rule of law for valid reasons. Stealing land from its lawful owner has many undesirable repercussions, which will undermine the economy and encourage societal collapse. Not only is the landowner deprived of his or her property, but this nonsense begets unwarranted demands on taxpayers and municipal services. Once established, the occupiers will demand municipal services like the installation of roads, electricity, water, security, schools, clinics, and so on, putting these services where they choose in a haphazard fashion. That's not in line with measured and appropriate urban planning. In an ironic twist, the area has long been occupied by subsistence farmers who have been using parts of the land without permission for years. They're angry about the intrusion and the harm it's doing to their crops and their own survival. And they've been airing their grievances to the press as well. Now, I say it's ironic because the farmers themselves are also illegally occupying land. as they lack the necessary documentation or agreements to even use the land for farming. SABC reports that the occupiers are complaining that they don't have a place to stay. Really? So they just magically appeared out of nowhere on this earth? Poppycock. Kvutch. They were staying somewhere before stealing this land. Now, part of their argument is that they do not know who owns the land, as if their ignorance has any merit or lends credence to their illegal actions. So what if you don't know who owns it? Frankly, it's none of your business. Your ignorance does not give you authority. I don't know who owns the forest near my home, but my ignorance in no way grants me freedom to cut down timber for my own use or to erect a summer house there. Now, they also state that they want the land to start businesses. Seriously? If there's merit to your business idea, open one where you currently reside. The SABC field reporter stated that the community is adamant they are going to continue to invade this land.
This is illegal, but the community is saying that they are adamant they are going to continue to invade this land.
Now, not only are they bold enough to break the law and confident enough that they will face no repercussions, but the thieves have openly and arrogantly stated that they are going to invade each and every land around Seshego where there are no activities and where the land is not being used, as if they're cognizant of land not being used. Just because you see it laying fallow doesn't mean it's not being used. It could be used to protect a watershed. It could be used to go fallow to regenerate the land. Whom are you to decide? Now, the law signed by Ramaphosa empowers them to act, or so they illegitimately claim. A government or a society that tolerates this nonsense is not long for this world. You simply cannot allow people to take what they want when they want. Lawlessness begets more lawlessness. Undoubtedly, my analysis will make me a target of leftist lunatics who make irrelevant arguments about poverty, historical injustices, and racism. And so be it. The same faulty logic was applied to the 38% of commercial farmland purchased in Zimbabwe after Robert Gabriel Mugabe came into power in 1980. And it is also used to expropriate commercial farms there from 350 black farmers as well. So do not fall prey to the empty promises of expropriation. What is there to stop someone from taking the land from them 10 years down the road? Nothing, once lawlessness prevails. South Africa's national, provincial, and local authorities need to get control of this situation, arrest the ringleaders, evict the squatters, and restore law and order. Then look at the large inventory of state-acquired land to find legitimate places for people to settle. What say you, South Africa? If this is allowed to continue, it will quickly spiral out of control. They'll simply rock up and say, I want your home. I'm entitled to it. The president said so. That's what's coming down the pike. Get ready for it. You heard it here first. Cheers.